Welcome to Top Animal Zone.
In a world where survival is everything, nature writes its own plot twists to eye in the animal kingdom. Gender isn't always the unshakable constant we imagine. For some species, the ability to change sex isn't just strange science, it's a masterstroke of evolution. When mates are scarce or the balance between males and females tips dangerously, these creatures rewrite the rules of biology to keep their lineage alive. From shadowy ocean depths to hidden corners of dense forests, some animals are born one sex and live another. Others carry both male and female powers at the same time, while a few take reproduction into their own hands. No males required. Here at Top Animal Zone, we bring you 7 astonishing stories of nature's shapeshifters, wild survivors that transform their very identity to outwit extinction and prove that in the game of life, adaptability is the ultimate weapon. Top 1. Clownfish. Amid the warm waters of coral reefs, clownfish live in harmony with sea anemones in a rare and fascinating symbiotic relationship. But behind their vibrant appearance lies a remarkable biological story. All clownfish are born male. In each social group known as a colony, there is only one female, typically the largest individual, who serves as the dominant breeder. She pairs with the next largest male in the group, while the remaining members are smaller, sexually immature males. What makes clownfish truly unique is what happens when the dominant female dies. Instead of searching for a new mate from outside the group, the largest male undergoes a sex change and becomes the new breeding female. He then pairs with the next largest male in the hierarchy. This process is known as protandry, a biological phenomenon in which an organism changes sex from male to female, and it can occur within just a few weeks. This mechanism is a striking example of sex change as an evolutionary adaptation, highlighting the diversity of survival strategies nature has shaped over time. For clownfish, gender is not a fixed identity, but a functional tool for survival, an extraordinary reminder that life always finds a way, even when it defies our conventional biological expectations. Top 2. Grouper. Beneath the shimmering surface of the ocean, groupers live a life of quiet strategy until the moment comes for a dramatic transformation. Unlike clownfish, which start as males, most groupers are born female. As they grow older and stronger, some will cross an invisible biological threshold and change sex entirely, becoming males in a process called protogeny, first female. This change is not random. In grouper society, size is the currency of power. Larger males control the best territories, prime coral structures rich in shelter and food, where they mate with multiple females. For a small, young grouper, trying to compete for such a territory would be hopeless. So, nature equips them with a patient strategy. Start life as a female, focus on survival, feed, and produce eggs to keep the population thriving. Years later, once they reach a competitive size, a remarkable shift begins. The female's ovaries transform into testes, hormone levels change, and even body shape and coloration may alter. Alongside the physical transformation comes a complete behavioral shift. Timid females become territorial males, actively defending their patch of reef and courting multiple partners. Sometimes, this change happens astonishingly fast. If the dominant male in a territory disappears, the largest female may begin her transition within days, ensuring that the social and reproductive structure remains unbroken. In species like the Nassau grouper, this adaptability is critical during annual spawning events, when thousands gather in precise locations for synchronized breeding, by delaying the transition to male until the odds are in their favor. Groupers secure both survival and reproductive success. They spend their early life contributing eggs, then later spread their genes widely as powerful, polygamous males. In the shifting, competitive theater of the ocean, groupers prove that gender can be more than a fixed identity. It can be a flexible, finely tuned survival tool. Top 3. Snail. Snails may appear slow and unassuming, yet their approach to reproduction is surprisingly sophisticated. Many species are hermaphrodites, possessing both male and female reproductive organs. This unique biology allows any two snails that cross paths to mate, without the need to seek out a specific male or female partner. Mating between snails is a slow, deliberate process. They may alternate roles, one acting as male while the other takes the female role, or even fertilize each other at the same time. This ability effectively doubles their reproductive chances, a critical advantage for creatures that live in scattered habitats, move slowly, and rarely encounter others of their kind. Some species add an unusual twist to the ritual: the love dart. Made of calcium and shaped like a tiny spear, it is literally shot into a partner's body before sperm exchange. Far from a gesture of affection, the dart delivers mucus containing chemicals that increase the odds of successful fertilization. It's a strange, even brutal tactic, but in nature, effectiveness often trumps elegance. That's why embodying both reproductive roles, snails turn potential disadvantages, solitary lifestyles, and limited mobility into an adaptive strength. They are living proof that survival depends not only on strength or speed, but on the ability to adapt, innovate, and make the most of every opportunity nature provides. Top 4. Sea slug. Sea slugs are some of the most colorful and unique animals in the ocean. With their bodies ablaze with electric blues, bright yellows, hot pinks, and vibrant oranges, they often look like tiny underwater works of art. But behind their stunning appearance lies an equally fascinating biological secret: their incredibly flexible way of reproducing. Unlike most animals, sea slugs are simultaneous hermaphrodites, meaning that each individual possesses both male and female sex organs at the same time. This gives them a huge advantage in the vast ocean, where finding a mate of the opposite sex can be a rare and difficult task. Instead of having to search for a specific male or female, any two sea slugs of the same species can mate, doubling their chances of successful reproduction. Not only do sea slugs have both sexes, they can also choose which role they will take on during mating. This decision is often based on their physical condition and energy levels. Egg production, the female's role, requires much more resources and energy than sperm production. So if a sea slug is tired, stressed, or malnourished, it can take on the male role, while its healthier mate takes on the more demanding female role. This mutual adjustment allows both species to reproduce without putting unnecessary stress on their bodies. What's even more remarkable is that this flexible system gives sea slugs a reproductive advantage in a changing ocean environment. Whether faced with food scarcity, changing water conditions, or simply difficulty finding mates, their ability to adapt to their reproductive role ensures that the species can continue to thrive. Top 5. Oysters. When people think of oysters, they usually imagine a tasty seafood dish or their rough, rocky shells. But hidden inside those shells is a fascinating biological story. Oysters can change their gender during their lifetime. Most oysters start life as males. When they're small and young, it's easier for their bodies to produce sperm, which requires less energy than making eggs. However, as oysters grow bigger and stronger, they often switch to females. That's because producing eggs takes more energy and larger females can release more eggs, increasing their chances of successful reproduction. This process is known as protandry, a type of gender change where an animal switches from male to female. It's not random. Oysters make this change based on their size, energy levels, and the balance of males and females in their population. If there are too many males around, some of them will naturally change into females to keep the population growing. Being able to switch sexes gives oysters a major advantage in the wild. It helps them adapt to changing environments and ensure healthy reproduction, even if their numbers or living conditions shift. So, while oysters may seem simple or even boring on the surface, they're actually living examples of nature's clever survival strategies. In their world, gender is not fixed, it's flexible, and it's used as a tool to survive and thrive. The next time you see an oyster, remember, you're looking at a master of adaptation, a creature that quietly breaks the rules of biology to keep its species alive. Top 6. Whiptail lizards. Whiptail lizards are one of the most fascinating examples of how nature defies human assumptions about sex and reproduction. In certain species of these lizards, particularly within the genus Aspidoscelis, males simply don't exist. The entire population is made up of females, yet they continue to reproduce generation after generation. This might sound impossible by human standards, But these lizards have evolved a remarkable solution, a reproductive strategy known as parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis is a type of asexual reproduction where eggs develop into embryos without being fertilized by sperm. In other words, every female whiptail lizard can essentially clone herself to produce offspring. While this may seem like a disadvantage in terms of genetic diversity, it allows the species to thrive in isolated or harsh environments where mates are scarce or non-existent. But what makes whiptail lizards even more extraordinary is what happens during breeding season. Although all individuals are genetically female, some display male-like behavior, such as mounting or courting other females. These actions don't lead to fertilization, but researchers believe they may play a critical role in stimulating ovulation, which helps maintain reproductive cycles. It's a kind of behavioral mimicry that supports reproduction, even in the absence of actual males. This curious blend of biology and behavior challenges our traditional understanding of gender roles in nature. In the world of whiptail lizards, being female doesn't just mean laying eggs, it can also involve taking on behaviors typically associated with males. It's a vivid reminder that in the animal kingdom, sex and gender are often far more fluid and adaptable than we might assume. Whiptail lizards stand as a brilliant example of evolutionary innovation using unorthodox methods to ensure survival and success in a constantly changing world. Top 7. Parrotfish. Asterisk. In the vast and colorful world beneath the ocean's surface, the lacquerfish stands out not only for its brilliant scales, but also for its incredible ability to change sex. Among the most fascinating examples of gender plasticity, in the animal kingdom, many lacquerfish species begin life as females, undergoing a complete and permanent transition into males. This is not a simple behavioral change, but a complex biological process that involves changes in hormone levels, changes in the structure and function of reproductive organs, and even changes in the expression of certain genes. What's even more surprising is that external factors such as temperature changes, social dynamics, or population structure can influence this transition. But this transition doesn't happen in every individual. In most groups of garfish, there is a single dominant male, often referred to as a super male, who is responsible for mating with all the females and defending a portion of the reef. This male is often brighter in color, larger in size, and more aggressive in behavior, making him easily distinguishable from the rest. If this dominant male dies or disappears, the balance of the group is disrupted. To restore order, the largest and strongest female begins the process of becoming a male, a transformation that can take days or even weeks. Once the transformation is complete, he begins courting other females, defending his territory, and asserting dominance over any rivals. The ability to change sex in animals is more than just a curious quirk of biology. It's a bold demonstration of nature's limitless adaptability and the breathtaking creativity of life itself. From the ocean's hidden depths to the forest's secret corners, evolution has crafted ingenious strategies to keep species thriving against all odds. These animals are not just survivors. They are masters of transformation, rewriting the rules of reproduction to secure their place in the story of life. So, which of these remarkable shapeshifters captured your imagination the most? Stay tuned. With Top Animal Zone and step deeper into the wild, where every creature has a story, and every story reveals another wonder waiting to be discovered.